Hi, this is Simone, and I'm the Zen Mommy. I help people with spiritual awakening and navigating your ascension. Today, well, first I want to thank my subscribers, and if you're new with me today, please press the subscribe and the bell button to notify you of my next video, if you resonate, of course. And today, I am going to talk about in the Matrix or out of the Matrix. I cannot tell. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the Matrix again, but I want to talk about it in a quite different way than the last time. So, okay, if you haven't watched any of my Matrix videos, or you haven't heard the term that people use in the spiritual community about how life is really like a matrix, okay, you might want to check out a movie called The Matrix. I'm going to give you a brief little synopsis of it, okay? So it starts off with this guy. His name is Neil, and Neil is a hacker living a regular life, and some people come in from another dimension and they bring him back to their dimension, right? And I'm really making this brief, but they take him into a room, and there are these like pod cocoons, and in each one there's a human being in, like, surrounded by slime in a little pod, and there's billions of them all over. And they go up and they say, and they show him Neil, the Neil guy. He says, okay, this is you're in a pod. And he's like, how is this possible? So what they were saying is that the life that you were living on Earth, that is an illusion, that you're actually here in this pod. It's like you're in a dream state, and everything. He's like, well, what happens when I die? They say you die because you think you're dead. So basically, everything is about a belief system. If you believe it strong enough, it's true for you. So even everything is energy, right? And even our bodies are energy. If you were to look in a microscope all the way down to an atom, that would only be clouds of energy. So energy vibrates at different rates and different frequencies, and that's why it may feel like we're solid. Okay, so according to the movie, is that you haven't even really experienced. You're just experiencing an illusion. And so when you go through this awakening, people refer to that whole matrix thing like, okay, it's like you were in that pod and you were living a mundane life, working a mundane job. If you're American, you paying taxes and you gonna die. That's like one of the sayings. They be like, I'm gonna pay tax. The two things guaranteed in life is paying taxes and death, right? And so you go for maybe the American family dream. You have the car and the kids and the great job. And then one day you just get old. You pick your retirement plan. You pick out your casket. It's all set. So this is a matrix life. But if you're here on this awakening, you're a fringe dweller to the matrix. You're no longer in the matrix. You have woken up and you have seen the illusion for itself. Okay? So that's what, when we're talking about, oh, the matrix, if you're hearing this term a lot after your spiritual awakening, is the matrix is something you have awoken out of. This is where the collective conscious is. Everybody is slaving away at jobs. They're not embracing their true passions and their true talents, but they want to work all day and all night to have a rich house they only see on the week, a big house they only see on the weekend. And they like dogmatically pursue their dreams, and they don't look for anything more. So when you have your awakening, you see the illusion. A lot of times you can't even work the same job anymore. You start making plans to work on doing something for you, or getting a job that resonates with you, your passion and your personality. And so anyways, so when I started the subject, it was in the matrix or out of the matrix. I cannot tell. Okay, so we have this awakening, okay? We realize that everything that we've been taught since we were born is an illusion, that we were just like a sponge coming into this life. We just absorbed anything that we were told. Our belief systems, what our parents taught us, our teachers, our friends, our families, our ministers, and like the belief system that you have, the religion you have, that's just the one you grew up in, And so everything, you start to see that everything's been decided for me, but who am I truly? So like I was in the Christianity belief system, and I became that because I thought that's what I was supposed to be, because that was the household I was living. I was told that this was right. I was told the Bible was the only way. And that became my belief system, but my belief system really didn't represent me, my true nature, my true self. So I had my awakening, okay? And now I'm awakened out of the matrix. I don't down, the people I went to church with, that is, see, everybody's on a different journey. And once you have your awakening, you'll never judge. Although it's not something I want to go back to, because I like my level of awakening. When you awaken, you begin to have knowledge as to the wise, okay? But everyone else, they're in their belief system. Nothing wrong. It's something they agreed to and it's experience that their soul wanted to have. So you can't knock them. But what I'm talking, this conversation is for you, that you're awakening outside of the matrix now. You're outside of that. So outside of the matrix, and why I say outside, inside, I cannot tell. So you have your awakening, and you realize that although I'm living outside of the matrix, I still have to live in the matrix. I still have to, I still have a family support. I still have a house. I still have a car note. So I have to take a matrix job. And so now you're the spiritual being trying to progress and ascend your consciousness, but you also the spiritual being that got to go to work every day and work for the matrix, and you got to pay the matrix taxes, and you got to follow the matrix laws. You got to pay for parking, and if you're not there in 2 hours, you're gonna have an expensive ticket. You have to pay for everything, right? So it's easy to get real fed up with the matrix, but also you have to understand that, okay, sometimes it's not, this journey is not always roses and peaches and rainbows, okay? It's a journey, and depending on where we are in life, sometimes we got to still stay in the matrix, not physically, mentally, but like physical body wise, until we start to raise our consciousness and change our belief systems. Like a lot of us, we don't have it down, law of attraction as it is, to just manifest ourselves out, manifest financial freedom and abundance. And so I don't have to work for the matrix. Okay. It's been programmed in our mind that I got to work hard for money to take care of myself. So this is all a part of the ascension journey, coming out of the matrix. And so being a part of the matrix, but learning how the matrix is also working you through your issues. So when you're with them, you might have a matrix job and you're around a bunch of matrix individuals that may not be awake. You're around people who have bad attitudes, people who you don't want to be around, but you have to understand, you have to be thankful, because those people are lessons. Okay. I mentioned this before, that you have to look at everybody as a non-playable character in your game. Okay. So I used to play World of Warcraft, and there was these characters called NPCs. They were non-playable characters. And this would be a person like the auctioneer, the bank teller, the food vendor, the fisherman on the corner. These characters were being played by the computer, but they were there to help me project my experience. So you have to understand, if you're in the matrix job and you're going through things with coworker, or you have a matrix family and they're strict by the matrix, but you're the blossoming black sheep, that's the awakening one, you have to understand that they're still there as your lessons. This is a part of your journey. So I don't know, I just wanted to kind of talk about that, because it's one thing I've been looking at. Like, I had set off to start the Zen Mommy business, and I wanted to have this online store, but I wanted to do counseling, coaching, some readings kind of thing. But I don't know, I've been having this problem manifest because I have this block of fear of success that I'm working through. So I actually took a matrix job and I took the easy way out, and now it's taking a lot of my time. And I know now I'm faced with trying to get back, transition back, because like, this is my passion, and I want this to be my full-time goal. But going back into the matrix job, I am getting lessons. I am surrounded by non-playable characters to help me gain a certain experience that I projected my consciousness into. And so we have to understand that it's a good way to not hold things against people. Sometimes you have to understand that they're an NPC. The computer is playing them. The universe is playing that character in your life, and the universe is doing that to enhance your experience and to evolve your consciousness. All right, thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.